Welcome everyone once again. My name is Judith and I will be moderating this session for today. In the franchise investment webinar, we're going to be looking at two major sessions. We have very amazing speakers here on today who are prepared to deliver value. Would you like to learn about investing in franchises? Would you like to know would you like to know details on how you can actually begin investment in franchises, what kind of franchises you should invest in? We have very seasoned speakers who are here to answer all your questions. I can see somebody chatting in the chat box saying they would like to know about franchise investment model. Oh, you're in the right place and we're super excited to host you today. Our first speaker for today needs no introduction. He's Mr. Franchise himself. He is Mr. Chiagozie Wizu, the Managing Director of Franchise Business Development Services. Mr. Chiagozie Wizu is an authority in the franchise industry. And if you know why they call him Mr. Franchise, then you'll be delighted you're meeting with one of the principalities, if I do say so myself, in the franchise industry. Welcome, Mr. Chiagozie Wizu. He is the Managing Director, like I already said, of FBDS Nigeria, the pioneer franchise development company in Nigeria. FBDS Nigeria is a member of International Franchise Association and a Nigerian representative of World Franchise Associates. He is the Executive Director of Africa Franchise Institute and the pioneer president of Nigeria Franchise Association, NAFBM. Mr. Chiagozie Wizu is an international franchise development consultant who has contributed in key capacities in the development of franchising in Nigeria. Chiagozie has led and worked with a team of local and foreign experts that conducted a number of franchise consultancy services within Nigeria and globally. His goal is to reduce the 80% MSME failure rate in Nigeria and help people who cannot build businesses to buy one from successful and proven brands. At the same time, helping such successful brands to expand beyond borders through franchising. He's on a mission to making franchising the preferred business venture model in Nigeria as a strategic means of building sustainable businesses that operate best practices. Through Mr. Chiagozie's services and promotion of franchising, new jobs and other economic opportunities have been created in Nigeria. Wow. Now, do you see why we call him Mr. Franchise? I mean, let's give it up for Mr. Chiagozie Wizu. Drum rolls as we get our very own Mr. Franchise on the scene today. You are welcome, Mr. Chiagozie Wizu. It's such a delight to have you here. It's always amazing to hear from you. We can't wait. Trust me when I say I cannot wait to hear what he has packed for us today. Mr. Chiagozie, please, can you just tell us, a little bit of something before we get right into the session?
All right, thank you, Informa. I almost had to look behind to see who you were trying to introduce. Hello there, for all of you that have made our time to join us. You are most welcome to this webinar, the Franchise Investors Forum. It's really very exciting to have you. I'm going to make you a promise. The knowledge and information you're going to get today is going to surprise you, and it is going to turn around your, financial and economic, fortune and life, for good. So it's going to be very, something very interactive. I'm looking forward to interacting with you all. Thank you, Informa.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Chiagozie. Like I already said, get prepared, get your paper and your pen ready to jot down things that are going to be said here. Believe me, you're going to be getting value, so get ready. Before we get into the session, kindly note that this webinar is recorded. So please turn off your camera, turn off your videos, and keep your audios muted as we go into the session. Before Mr. Chiagozie comes on board, we are going to be having another session where we are going to be displaying the franchise opportunities available for your consumption. So without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Chiagozie right up now to talk about franchise investing in Nigeria. Welcome, Mr. Chagozie, once again.
Okay, so thank you very much. So what we are doing with the Franchise Investors Forum is not what we see as just a career. It is something that we see as a mission. We are very passionate because we have seen that, like you heard during the introduction, yes, really looking forward to seeing that the average Nigerian out there, down to beyond people that are living in the cities that are educated, down to people that you have there at your villages and whatever part of the country, that they get to know about the franchise option. Why? Because it's coming from a finding that it is not everybody that has what it takes to build an enterprise. So I would bet that perhaps half of the people that are listening in or watching here right now today, you have tried one sort of venture or the other. You've tried to run a business in the past and got your fingers burnt. And doing business in Nigeria, yeah, people succeed incredibly here in Nigeria. I can tell you that for sure. Foreigners are coming in here to set up. But, it rewards you very well when you run an enterprise here. But we need to actually tell the truth that the hard work is not everybody that has a preparation of what it takes to build a successful enterprise. Business failure, sometimes it does not give people a second chance. You borrow money from the bank, you borrow money or you hard-earned savings from your career. I've seen retirees, I've seen people who have worked in organizations like oil and gas where they got paid off some amount of money because they, severance package. I'm talking about very, very huge amount of money. And they put that into startup business and, the business failed. I have run set up businesses, and I know the pains of business failure. So, for you to really want, you have to ask yourself a question, and that is where we start the conversation today. What am I cut out for? Do I have what it takes to build an enterprise? This whole thing, entrepreneurship, there are 42 million micro, small, and medium scale enterprises in Nigeria, but not more than 15% of those businesses will see the next 5 years. But we saw this new thing about franchising, this interesting thing, that people who want to start up businesses can actually get into partnership or relationship with established businesses that already have brands, right, that are a household name, so there's a goodwill. The brand already opens doors. You want to go into pharmacy, you want to set up a pharmacy shop, but there are some pharmacy stores that are already very reputable. Before people would want to start buying from you, there are too many trust issues they are going to have. So many things that goes around that. I won't go into the details. So many businesses fail even when they are trying to even establish that very brand. You have something good going, some fantastic offering, but what the time it takes for that business to break even, many times people don't have the working capital to sustain, pay salaries, market, keep delivering consistent value until that brand, begins to do very well. So this is why the franchise option, so that such people can go into, if you do that calculation, the essence of this very webinar is to help you to do that calculation. So maybe you're about to set up a business now, maybe you have some money to set apart. Please listen very carefully, ask all the questions you want to ask to really find out whether you are up to it, building a new business, or should you take your franchise. So I've talked about leveraging the brand goodwill. The other thing is that there is a turnkey solution systems, that have been put in place, which could, it is not essentially like a distributorship where you tell you, okay, bring the money, buy products, get a warehouse, get your trucks, come and carry and go and sell, go and market. Distributorship is good, right? In fact, as a matter of fact, we do what we call structured distributorship. Today, we're going to be introducing you to some structured distributorship where they go beyond just allowing you to buy products and go and market and distribute in your region and struggle. They give you very reasonable support that makes your chances of succeeding higher. So the franchise option gives you chances of succeeding in a startup business. That is what we are talking about. So there is a training system, there is a turnkey solution. There are things that all the things that make the business to succeed. There's a finance. Every business has, core part of its system and unique ways that is managed. There's a special way to manage the finances of every book. There's a special way to market the products and services. There's a way to engage and manage the stakeholders, the suppliers, the distributors, the employees. And every business has its own uniqueness. And I'm telling you about a whole lot of checklist of things you need to learn how to deal with, and all this will be handed over to you. You get into that very territory. You know what you need to do as a CEO, as the owner of that very business, right? How you need to manage your team. They introduce technology solution which help you to run that very business, to automate it, and a whole lot of things. And it's just like you have already been set up to succeed. Nobody likes to fail. Nobody likes failure. You understand? So now I felt I needed to just start off on this very footing because I'll just get into a few things, questions I know you might have in your mind that will help us get started before we start taking questions. So first of all, what is franchising? I define franchising as a business giving another party the rights to leverage its proven and scalable business systems to operate a successful and profitable venture. If you were the franchisor, the business owner, who probably, a food business, a makeup business, a manufacturing business that has some showroom, furniture business can franchise and all of that. If that business does not have a proven system, which at a particular, or if I have 2 or more outlets in different locations, it has proven that it works and it is profitable, which is going to offer to you, the person who is going into that very relationship, it is not a franchise. It is not so this is what defines a franchise system. So I have talked about the failure rate of startup businesses. As many as 85% of startups fail. But on the flip side, franchising succeeds as much as 95%. So in South Africa, all the franchises that have been set up way be around even before the apartheid, till date. Not more than 5% of them has failed. Can you beat that? You know what that means? So that means that it is, even though that many of the outlets of that business you see do not belong to the original owner, there are different owners who are operating either a service outlet or food or retail, even retail stores and all of that. People wouldn't even know that there are different owners. That is the level of standardization. Right. So now for the introduction there is that the franchise model, what you want as someone who wants to start up a business is to see that you have very minimal chance of your failing and that you have all what it takes, the proper onboarding, the know-how, the support, and brand goodwill and some other things that you require to really succeed and just cruise your way all the way to success and making money, because that's why you went into business. Okay, so some other things I know you might want to know about would be, how do you know that franchising is for you, right? If you're interested in having an alternative income stream. I used to be a banker, right? And in my banking days, I saw a lot of people who were working, that the career was very frustrating for them. It's like they were in the wrong career, or it was time for them to start thinking about retirement. Some people want work-life balance. Some people, are working, their spouses are also doing 9 to 5, children and family is suffering. And some people just needed a plan B. When I was in the bank, there's something we used to call the tsunami. It is that time of the year when they sack sometimes as many as 1,000 employees. How do you know? If you're a banker here, I'm sure you're probably laughing. You just come to work and you try to log into your computer and you realize you cannot log in. You keep battling with your computer, what's going on? By the time you start looking, see your colleagues look at you somehow, that's when it dawns on you, because nobody knows the day of tsunami, and then you realize that you don't have a job anymore, and I've seen it really, really deal terribly with people. And the people just realize that they've worked for quite a number of years and they never made any plan, no plan B. Are you looking for a solid retirement plan? How was your retirement plan? Does somebody really, really retire? Sometimes we get paid off some pension fees for retirement. And is that when somebody is 60 years old that the person starts doing business plan? And I can tell you for sure that statistics has it that quite a large number of retirees die faster because they just went to retire from active life. Retirees want to just keep being active. And there are people who still have young children because they didn't start having children in time, and they still need money to keep coming in. They can't just be spending that money that was paid. So they need a business. That's all what I'm saying. That is not the time to start doing business plan. Right at that point in time, franchising is the right option. Okay, except the person is looking to make a passive investment. But if the thing is that you want to be busy, what is your career? What's the business you are doing, your occupation? What have the business you are running, right? Then we are talking about a franchise, or what we call a structured distributorship model. Now, also the other thing is, do you desire to invest in a business with proven business system and profitability? So if you feel that you are a serial entrepreneur, you have it all together, you are very damn sure you're going to succeed in the state of the economy and all of that. I mean, franchising is not for you, but if you are looking in something that's proven, and the profitability is proven, the system is proven, meaning that it's like a copy and paste. Anywhere you put it, everything that makes such a business to succeed are there. There won't be much struggle. They probably are thinking about franchising. Do you want to acquire a right to own an outlet of an already established and successful brand? I said that before. Are you a busy career person in need of an alternative investment? I talked about that too. Do you lack the time and the capacity to make investment or build a business? So if you are too busy, you don't have the capacity, sometimes you want to have your job, but you want to have a business by the side. So that that business, when it starts doing well, you can now exit your job and then go into a business that you are sure is already doing well. These are things that people do. There are people that have jumped out of their jobs, I have made that mistake myself in the past. Although it was actually an organization that at that very point in time was struggling. I couldn't pay salary, so I was forced to to move out. I started the very first mobile car wash that was set up in Lagos. I had it, doing very well. I was doing a car for 10,000 naira way back 2009, and and all of that. But I couldn't sustain that. Working capital, different things and all. It wasn't the right time. If I had a job and that business was there by the side, I would have made a very nice transition. I'm being very practical. That's why I'm saying this, so we can understand what I'm talking about. So if you answered 80% yes to the questions I had asked, I think that franchising is probably for you. So then why do you want to take up franchise? For example, let me give you further insight. You enjoy the freedom of being self-employed without much risk. It is a reliable retirement plan. You have the knowledge transfer from a proven business system. The franchisor, part of what he offers you is that he trains you. He trains your employees. Many times they send a manager from one of the established brands to come and work in your outlet to help you guys for about 3 to 6 months. So that when, because that practice is important. We need to understand that why we want a franchise is that there is something that they know how to do. It's not about having a food that tastes very good, though. I'm sure we all know these things. That makes a restaurant business successful. It's not having a touch place with AC. It's not in all these things. There are trade secrets that are proven. When I say proven, it's very key, right? So that the individual could help to see that those things are practiced consistently, and then you can experience the same success that they are experiencing at their own outlet, So it is easy for you to set up and manage due to the franchisor support. It's a better chance to access finance and the credit line opportunity from the franchisor. You have a guaranteed patronage from brand goodwill and retainerships. Many times you open up a franchise. We set up a franchise for Buka Hut, which is called Buka Grills. I can assure you that as we're rolling out the Buka Grills now, there are people who are coming from Aja and faraway places to patronize their grill businesses around Lekki. Now, the franchisees that are taking up, I'm very, very happy to announce that Buka Hut Buka Grill is part of the brands you're going to probably find out today. We're going to be presenting is franchising. So many customers already there, which they have the database of these customers. Many of them are placing order. You know, if you open that very like agile location, probably you already have about 50, 100 customers who will start patronizing you. That's what that means. Okay. So you have a global brand promotion and awareness by the franchisor. It just keeps advertising for all of the network, and in the advert, they're saying these are all our existing branches, and people can see, oh, there's a nearby, this branch now has opened somewhere near to me. You get to enjoy from all of those things. Right? There's a brand goodwill, immediate patronage, and quicker return on investment. I think I've talked about that. There's a cost efficiency through shared market, advertising, launch campaign, you know, all those expenses that you might not have been able to invest sufficiently in. You know, when you start up a business, the amount of money you have to invest in marketing, in publicity to launch that very brand, many times you don't have it in your working capital. So you get to share all these things with even other franchisees and the owner of the business. You know, it's called marketing contribution. So you have a reduced failure risk, you know, in leveraging the proven products and business systems and proven profitable venture. You have a continuous research and product improvement. Many businesses just start doing well, and at the time they fizzle out. It doesn't happen in franchising. In franchising, you know, any business that is franchising knows that there is continuous and ongoing research and development improvement. They just keep being one step ahead of the business. They just keep wowing the customers, you know, at all of the locations they are implementing all these findings. You take advantage of that, you know. There's a new product lines and innovation which they just keep introducing. Your customers just keep, you know, they just keep coming, you know, because of all these innovative things that they are introducing. You know, you're able to leverage existing customer base and the retainerships. I think I was talking about that. There's opportunity for increased profit margins through bulk procurement, you know, and credit supply. Sometimes you have people that want to do party, and then they want your outlets to have to do all of that, you know, supplies to them and all whatnot. So these are some of the reasons why, you know, you may want to buy a franchise. Now, let me again tell you, there are people that franchise is not meant for. Please, you know, I will have to also make this very clear. Franchising is not meant for you. You know, if you are already an experienced and serial entrepreneur, you know, you are going to be having problem with the franchisor. You want a franchisor that is much more knowledgeable than you, who shows you the way, who you are thrilled and you are so looking forward to, you know, becoming a part of the success that they had. You know, there are so many brands we have around Nigeria today we are very proud of. We are proud of House of Tara. We are proud of Oriki. We are proud of Slot. You know, these brands, they become household names. You can't want to go into franchising with them and you know as much as what they know and be rubbing shoulders with them. You know, there's something that comes naturally from having too much knowledge in something. If you think that you've been in an industry, you work in that industry for years, and you really think you have too much knowledge, that you have a high chance of succeeding, maybe you shouldn't take a franchise, or even shouldn't bother taking a franchise in that very area, right? So then the other thing is that you should also have a consideration for, you know, you should give a consideration to the fact that if franchising requires a whole lot of discipline and will disrupt your comfort, right? Franchising is not for people who want things so fast, people that are impatient. Can I tell you what? Let me announce to you. Many people do not know why they fail in business. They do not know that it is because of their lack of being structured thinkers, process-oriented people that they fail. If you ask, when I was doing banking, when I was managing 200,000 micro, small, and medium-scale enterprise of a particular Nigerian bank, when I was an MSME advisory manager, I went across every state in this country, supporting businesses with webinars and business clinics and all of that. And it was one common thing I noticed about business owners. They're always thinking that money is a problem. I mean, an average business owner do. That money is a problem. Just give me money, I'll do wonders. Give me money. Don't tell me, I've been in business for 15 years. What else will you teach me? I don't know. Meanwhile, the guy is saying that thing cannot make out 2 hours to go for a webinar. And he tells you that I don't have anybody that is going to manage my outlet if I went out after 15 years. So the man is having problems he doesn't know, that he does not know as much as he thinks that he knows. You see that? So we have that thing going on whereby people are indisciplined. Success requires a lot of discipline. Success requires a lot of hard work consistency, following patterns, following processes and all of that. If you are not such a person, please be franchising alone. Don't go there, because you'll be frustrated and you have unnecessary. In fact, that is actually, a savvy franchisor will not even want to franchise with you because they'll be able to smell that from a distance. But I believe that people that are here, that you are not that kind of person, because we are hungry for knowledge. So franchising is capital intensive. It will cost you more to set up one, right? People set up businesses anyhow in Nigeria, anyhow and anyhow. They just find a way to, okay, the business is supposed to require 100 million naira to set up. The person has 40 million, that they will just do it anyhow. Shall let me open shop and start doing? No, it's not for franchising. They will make sure that you have all what it takes. Even after setting up the business, you have enough money for working capital to pay salaries. Everything is calculated. Everything about franchise. That's why we say proven. The franchisor will tell you, I can tell you for sure that this very outlet will cost 100 million to set up. You're going to have your break even in the next 4 months or the next 6 months. You're going to start recouping you on, all of those things. We know you're going to pay salaries for so amount, that cost of running diesel is going to be so amount. Everything is calculated, right? So you must have to have more money than what you think is enough for you to do a business, right? So you will not get the excitement that comes with owning. We are very poor people. I see some complimentary cards and people go by, importer, remember, like my Igbo brothers, importer, exporter, general merchandise, CEO, MD, CEO. So if you like all those kind of names and you don't want to feel like I wasn't the founder of this very business, maybe you should try and do your own thing, right? So it is not for people that want a lot of control and to make changes as they wish. Please, if you are going to franchise, you must follow. If a franchisor say jump, you say, please, how high do you want me to jump, right? You have to follow standards, follow processes and all of that. There are controls that are in place. If you are setting up a business, you have operated for another organization at C-level, you should probably not consider franchising. So if you've been in an industry where you are retiring, although I will also still warn you so that, I don't deceive you. Being a technician does not mean that you're going to be a successful entrepreneur. Being able to bake the most fantastic cake in the world, right, does not mean you are going to succeed in running a cake business. Do you understand? Because you don't know finance, because you don't know people management, you are not a HR expert, because you don't know a lot of things about, or some other things about entrepreneurship and what comes with that. So, but there's a level you would have gone, like if you work in an organization where you move from department to department to department, and you've known every single thing, you probably should be considering doing, something else. So finally, I'll just say this about the steps that you have to follow, if you want to assess a franchise. So by the way, this is something we do as franchise advisory consultants. We always advise you. So what I'm saying about franchise is also what I would say about distributorships, because today we're going to be presenting quite some number of distributorships. Yes, we help people to find franchises and structured, emphasis on structure, meaning that distributorship is not just brand, give me the brand name, paint my place, take money, and then I start. No. You are literally going to have something like a business plan that helps you to know how exactly you will have to run that very venture. So quick steps on how you can do the assessment. You have to conduct a self-assessment on what you enjoy doing. You need to understand what you enjoy doing is very critical. If you are not a numbers person, do not go and take a franchise that requires you, doing back office, like there are franchises around there consulting. There are franchises that are, are involved in services, personalized services you have to deliver. Maybe you're the kind of person that likes talking to people. Maybe you should take up a franchise that makes you to market, that, helps you to go out and engage people. You have to ask yourself, what type of experience and interest do you have? Your experience and interest becomes very, very critical. Things that you have, so that you can begin to, you don't have to learn everything from a franchisor. You can leverage on the interest, your passion, and experience that you had over your history of career or other things that you have done. You have to look at a credible franchise and ensure you will receive support from the franchisor. So that is why we usually recommend franchises that we have set up, or really franchises that are, really well set up by experts. So if you look around Nigeria, most of the old franchises we have, Either they are foreigners. If you look at McDonald's, which is around in the country now, if they tell you how much they spent in flying in experts of McDonald's for, to for several months, launch them a 5-star hotel, to take time to build and set up that very outlet, it's going to shock you. So, there are businesses that go into franchising without preparation, and then they will not be able to keep their own part and support you. We do not recommend that. So you need to do a due diligence on that. You need to do a tour of the franchise outlet, right? To go and see what are even other outlets looking like. Are there other franchisees that have already bought the franchise of that very brand? Go and interview them and ask them questions. And then you have to check out the reputation and the financial performance and the contractual documentations. The franchisor would likely give you some documents. There is a franchise disclosure document. There is the franchise agreement. There is different things, prospectus. You sometimes require expert, I will tell you, expert support like we provide to really advise you, because you're going into a contract for a business you are making quite some investment in. You need to be able to study those things. They need to choose the territory that works for you, right? It's always advisable for you to have a territory that is around where you live, or, at some place you usually will have easy access to, so you can go to attend to your business. Always engage professional advice as you operate your franchise business. I would advise you to do that. Always engage professional advice. All of these things we talked about, you have to always tell yourself the truth. Do I have what it takes to do these things? Otherwise, we can just support you to engage these franchisees and see that there are negotiations, I will tell you, that are involved in getting a franchise. You really need to negotiate quite a number of things, just so that you can get the best of deal. It's not a thing of you win-lose kind of thing. Sometimes you're just negotiating something that the franchisor doesn't really mind doing for you, just that you are really being very detailed in planning how that very franchise business is going to be, set up. Okay, so I think I've taken quite some time. So far. If I get a chance, I think during questions and answers, there's some other things I would like to talk about, but I'll just leave them until the questions and answer time, right? So that I'll be able to address that. So thank you, Judith, and I'm handing back over to you.
Wow. I mean, I was really getting lost. I forgot for a moment that I was the moderator and I was supposed to be checking on the time. Wow, that was a very interesting conversation. Thank you, Mr. Chiagozie. I cannot see your questions in the chat box. So me, I'm already learning a lot. I mean, like I already jotted down a lot of things, a lot of questions to ask. As you already know, franchising is the way. Getting a franchise is the way. Not everybody will end up starting their own business from scratch. Without saying so much, we are going to be jumping right next into the next session now. We are entering the exhibition proper, where our very seasoned franchise investment consulting expert is going to come, and take us through the number of brands that are available right now and the opportunities that are bound. She's just going to be coming up in 2 minutes. So guys, please, as she comes up, let us just give her the vibe. Let us give her the, applaud that she deserves. Let us welcome Miss Stephanie Umezulike as she comes on board. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be here today. Okay, great. So I'm going to be taking you through the available franchise. Okay, so I'm just going to do a brief disclaimer. These are by no means all the franchises we represent, but these are, and I was looking at the poll questions to see our investment budget. So it's going to give me a little detail into what franchise businesses we should focus on. So I'm sure you have listened all up to the benefits and profitability about investing in a franchise, and if you're ready to make your franchise decisions, you should focus on these brands that are about to be displayed to you. I'll be giving you a brief summary of the brands, the investment, just an overview, and then the investment requirements. And then after this session, there will be a form that will be shared in the chat section. So please do ensure that you fill it. It will help us get back to you. If you did not see any franchise within this selection that fits your criteria. Okay, now, so we're going into it and we'll be taking this in sectors, according to sectors, and we'll be looking at our services sector first. And so the brands, most of the brands that are displayed are Nigerian, and I'm proud to say that FBDS, Franchise Business Development Services, developed most of the franchise businesses here, and so that's why we are confident to bring them to you. The first brand that we'll be exhibiting today is Oriki. Oriki is a luxury skincare brand. They have their own products, farm to skin, and they have multiple outlets. They have about 3 outlets in Lagos, and they have one in the UK. And so I saw that we have some people, selected the first option, which was the mobile franchise option. I'd just like to say that the mobile franchise option is a franchise option that lets you, work from the comfort of your home. So it's mobile. You can go to different people's homes or places to carry out the service. And so the Oriki is offering a mobile franchise option. So what that means is that you can be an Oriki employee, but you're working for your own self. What that means is that you have the Oriki brand name, so you go in to offer Oriki services as an Oriki trained personnel, but you'll be making the money for for yourself. All the money be coming to you apart from the royalties that you and the franchise fee that you need. So with just 2.5 million, you can be an Oriki mobile franchisee. And then if you want to go for the whole outlet as seen in this picture, the cost of the total investment, total means it's just like buying an apartment that's already furnished. With 80 million, you can walk into your own franchise outlet, the same brand, the same look and feel, the same atmosphere, even the same music if you choose. Okay, so that's all about Oriki. Take notes, and then you can write your questions down so we can look at that after the session. So moving right onto the next brand, we have the Braiding Vault. This is a luxury salon. This is a luxury salon. And yes, okay. So the Braiding Vault actually has 2 outlets, one in Ikoyi, the other one is in Lekki. And then there was a new outlet just opened in the UK. Yes, there's a new outlet just opened in the UK. So it's a luxury lifestyle salon. So with 19 million, they also offer the mobile franchise option. So if you're very good with your hands, if you're very good with braiding, even if you want to bring in someone to your home that you can train, put them through this training to say, okay, you are my Braiding Vault franchisee. You can invest in this to somebody. All those people that are always calling you from home, asking you for money time to time, put them on this option. Tell them that, see, you need to become your own boss. And then the mobile franchise option is available to them. So you can also be a mobile franchisee of the Braiding Vault. For more details, you can also leave your question in the comment section. We'll be moving on to the next franchise that we'll be displaying, and that's Clean Ace Dry Cleaners and Laundress. This franchise is one of the most interesting franchises so far because it serves as a pick-up location. Do you know what that means? You do not need to go into the hassle of buying a washing machine at all. You don't need to have any washing machine in your outlet, but you will bear the name Clean Ace Dry Cleaners and Laundress. You walk in, and then your customers will not even realize that this is a franchise outlet. Do you get? You walk in, and all what you need to own this franchise, is just seen in this picture: a table, 1 or 2 staffs, a hangar where so it's a pickup location. People come in to pick their laundry their clothes, and then what you need to do is just send it to the headquarters, and they have the capacity. The cleaning headquarters is ISO certified. It's one of the ISO certified laundry and dry cleaners companies in Nigeria. That's a big deal. They have the capacity to do up to 3,000 to 5,000 garments per day. So trust me, they have the capacity to deliver. And so we'll be moving on to the next sector. That's the wholesale and the retail industry franchise sector. And so we'll be looking at Pointech. So some people are tech savvy. That okay, me, I'm more into the mobile space. I want to, phones are my things. I love phones. I want to be around phones. You know that because you always change your phone regularly. There are some people that every 6 months they're trying to have a new phone. Probably this might be the franchise that might interest you. So Cointech is, they are known for their good brand name, for the neatness of their outlet. And with 50 to 80 million, you can set up your own Cointech outlet where for the wholesale and retail of phones and mobile devices, including smart TVs and just tech stuff. So I'm moving on to the next um, brand, and it is slot. Yes, you can own your own franchise, slot franchise. I recently found out that one person has up to 15 slot outlets. 15 slot outlets and you haven't even got one. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Do you know? Let me even just give you a very, very, juicy insight. I found out that, Chris Brown has up to 150 Burger Kings. I will be thinking that he's just making money off of music. This is what you need to do to make money. Like make money while you are sleeping. Invest in a franchise today. So with 50 to 100 million naira, you can own your own franchise outlet, your own slot franchise outlets anywhere in the world. And Slot is a trusted brand. Wherever they go, they deliver quality. This next brand I'm going to present to you is one of a kind. Can you just take a look at the total investment requirements? Are you seeing 1.25 million naira? Yes, it's real. With 1.25 million, you can buy your own Spectrum franchise outlets. There is a model that allows you to operate a micro franchise model outlet. So what that means is that you just need to set it's a small what's the word? Is a small, forgive me for the picture, forgive me, this is an oversight, right? So with 1.25 million, you can set up a kiosk that allows you to sell mobile devices, low-end mobile devices, of course. And then there's another option, 50 million naira. 50 million, there's an option for 50 million naira. You can you can own your own franchise, but it's jointly owned with Spectrum. So you can say, I want to have a franchise, but I'm too busy I don't want to be involved. I'm too busy. I don't have time to be going to the outlet every day. I want to be in Australia, I want to be in the UK and have everything sorted. With 50 million naira, you can, do the joint partnership. And so the next franchise that we'll be exhibiting is the Miniso franchise. Miniso is a well-known Japanese brand. I mean, who doesn't know Miniso here? Who doesn't know Miniso? You can also own your own Miniso outlet today. And you can see the franchise investments. Its break-even period is 18 months. I mean, with the populace, with how popular the brand is, in 18 months, you can recoup your franchise outlets, or your franchise investment. And then the industry that is most loved, the food industry, let us see the brands that we have. We have Chicken Republic. I mean, this exhibition would not be the same if we do not, would not be complete if we do not have a Chicken Republic in franchise here. Chicken Republic has grown up to 240 something outlets, both local, both owned and franchise outlets. And their franchise requirement is ranging between 250 to 300 million naira. I mean, this is Chicken Republic. I don't even need to say much about it. Everybody walks into Chicken Republic. It is the place to be. With the rising economy and everything, most people are just going, they just want it, the extra. Who sells food in a restaurant for 500 naira? That's Chicken Republic, And so moving on, Buka Hotsuya and Bills, one of our latest babies. This is not the franchise of the entire Buka Hot section. So you can see the investment requirements, 12 million to 20 million. This is the franchise of the Buka Hotsuya and Grills, So in case you're wondering that there's some locations, like the Banana Island, the Ikoyi, we don't like to, we are very health conscious. We don't want to just buy suya off of, where we buy suya from, but you want to buy suya from a place that is standard. All the processes are tested. You can vouch for the quality and the health, related things about the suya. This is a franchise to invest in. I mean, who doesn't use suya? It's almost an every other nice thing, and it's, in 16 to 12 to 16 months, you will recoup your investment with as little as 12 million naira. You can own your own suya and grill outlet. Then moving on, we have the Promise Restaurant. I don't know, for people that do not really live in Lagos and reside around or Port Harcourt and Delta, you'll notice that this restaurant is just everywhere. It's just everywhere. So you're thinking, well, I don't want to set up something in the Lagos and that's doing well just in Lagos. I want to, move into the east. I want to, expand. There are even available opportunities in Lagos. This is one of the interesting things. You can be the the Promise Restaurant franchise in Lagos and set up. And trust me, everybody, all the aunties and the uncles, when they come for weddings in Lagos, they will troop into your own franchise outlet, and nobody will know that this is a franchise outlet because of the consistency and the standard and the taste of the meals. And so moving on, we go to the Yogurt Frenzy. This is from 14 to 20 million. It's an international franchise, and we'll just not spend too much time here. So we'll just move on to agriculture. And we just have one brand to exhibit today, and it's the Tofan franchise. So you're saying that I like agricultural things. I have a farm. I have association with clusters of farmers, and I want to do something, a business that I know that will meet the needs of my network. This is a agricultural franchise. I mean, they're the leading farm and construction mechanized service provider. Their investment requirement is 21 million naira, and they are open to receiving franchises in all the key cities. Imagine owning this franchise in a hub that is, filled with farmers, So moving on, we're going into the product format franchise now. We're going into the product franchise now. So this is distributorship. This is, I want to distribute products. I want to, have a network of people under me that take you're connected to wholesalers, and you want people that will take, or you already have distributors in your network, or you just want to begin distributorship. This is a franchise for you. And so we have new brands that are doing well. I mean, this product is in Amazon. Amazon is a new product. They have different varieties of tea made with moringa fruits. They are all about health. They're all about health, health, health. They have the baby cereal that has been made and produced organically with all the rich ingredients to make our babies bouncing, and grow up to have chubby cheeks and a healthy smile. They thought about the full needs of a Nigerian child, and they produce a cereal that suits these needs using organic produce. So if you're looking for a distributor here and you're looking for new products to offtake, this product is for you. I mean, it's for you. It's already doing well. It's already in key stores in Lagos. It's already in key stores in Lagos, and you don't want to miss this opportunity. And yeah, okay. Now I say that I'm a motor guy, I'm a vehicle guy. This is your opportunity. This is a US franchise brand, right? This oil is produced in the US, so it's not substandard at all. Crystal Express brings this oil. So Crystal Express is the sole distributor of the Everest motor oil in Nigeria. So what a better way, to pick up this oil. It's more affordable than them oils. We know how much it is. But if I tell you the price of this oil now, you will run to me and say I want to sell it because it's just as good. It is just as good as the brands that you know, and it is up for they are looking for distributors to distribute the products across Nigeria. Across Nigeria, I mean, you with as little as with the minimum order of 5 million naira, you can become a Crystal Express distributor. You can take up as many products as you want. You can take up as many with the minimum, of 5 million naira, and you become a distributor of Everest oil. And so we have come to the end of this exhibition. If you need to buy a franchise now, put your details in the comment section. If you are ready, and answer the polls as well. So like I said, these are just some of the franchises that are available based on our budgets, in via the polls that have been answered. So I'll just hand it over to Judith from here for the question and answer session.
Exhibition. Yeah, so it's time for our question and answer session. We're going to be bringing Mr. Chiagozie Mizu, Mr. Franchise himself, back to take all of your questions. So please kindly chat your questions using the chat box, using the chat feature. And if you also need to speak to someone directly, you can send a private message to Yoma. Yoma is right there in the chat feature waiting for you. Kindly chat your questions now as we move straight into the question and answer session. Thank you. In the course of this webinar, you would notice that there are several poll questions coming up on your screen. Kindly attend to the poll questions as it would help us serve you better. It will also help us know what your specific needs are so we can serve you better. Thank you very much. Mr. Chiagozie, are you there? Are you still with us?
Yes, I am. I am very much. I'm waiting for the questions to come in.
Hi, Mr. Chiagozie. Can you hear me?
Yes, I am. I said I'm waiting for the questions. I am.
Okay, so we have one question from Olawale Ojo, and he says, can one franchisee have multiple franchises in different sectors, e.g., agriculture and Chicken Republic? So is it possible for one franchisee to have multiple franchises across different sectors?
Okay, so the advice I always give, I know there's something as serial franchise investors. We met quite a number of them, but we usually will advise people. Yes, this is first of all, the answer to your question is a yes. But we always advise that you set up one first. Like we say, there is that period when you need to. The reason why the franchisor wants you, there are reasons why you want the franchisor. The reason why the franchisor wants you, apart from the money you are bringing, is that he needs you to stay there and run that business. And as much as the system on how to do things that, if you implemented the processes, that the success is 95% guaranteed, it will happen. It still takes hard work. It takes focus. So you wouldn't do this concurrently, setting that up and having another one running at the same time. You have to set up one and give it maybe about 6 months for it to take off. We have a particular client that has a mall, and so far we have set up about 4 franchises at that very same location. So that is very possible, but go at them one after the other. You might even realize that the first franchise you did, that you liked that and you want to do more. So that's what they call multiple unit franchisee, that they want to do more of franchise outlets of that very particular brand than doing that. You will know. It's something you will be able to know from the experience that you are having. Okay, I hope that answered the question.
Okay, thank you so much. We have another question from Chinyere. She says, does the franchisor also provide the staff to manage the business?
Well, in the franchise business, remember that it is entrepreneurship. Everything they are doing that in the basis of providing you support. So you should have your own employee. But for example, all of the roles in that business outlet you are going to set up. There is a job description, there are SOPs, workflows. Just call that, so much that people will have to work like robots there for when they resume and when they close out, they do everything that is provided. However, that employee, you have to hire. Some franchisors want you to, they give you the job description and then you hire the people, but they must vet them before, you give them the employment. For some of them, they can recruit for you. It depends on really where they do that. But remember, that is your employee to manage, right? The only one they can give to you, like I said, is they might send somebody from a head office to provide support to that your outlet. It is a hand-holding support. You and those your employees have been trained thoroughly. They help you to do a special launch and everybody in the neighborhood know that you have opened that very business. They can have that guy operate as a manager or of some sort, just to be around to see that all the trainings that you've gotten and how you're supposed to do things, that they are being followed appropriately. They will know at the right time when things are caught on, when you are the teaching period has have been navigated and everybody has become very familiar with their roles and how things go, and then they will pull back that individual.
Wow. Okay, we have another question from Shedrack. Shedrack is asking, he says, what we saw during the exhibition, are they all that is available or are there others that were not featured? Well,
I think that's for Stephanie to answer. I would like Stephanie to come in and take that.
Okay. Stephanie, kindly answer the question.
Hi, Mr. Shepherd. So during the exhibition, I already said that there are some franchises that are not, going to be exhibited today, and so we selected the available franchises based on the budget from our previous engagement. So if you have any franchise that you're interested in, but were not exhibited, you can do well to leave us a message. Our message handles, our numbers, our email addresses will be sent to you shortly in the section, the chat section.
Okay, and thank you.
Yeah, so if I may just lend the voice to that, please feel free to use, there's a form, right? I don't know if there's that form where people, there's that interest from the franchisee prospect form. We have the link. People can quickly use that. It just takes 2 minutes, just 10 questions. Use that and just put information. Part of what you have to put there will be to tell us the types of, okay, I want a retail business. Tell us any type of business model that you are interested in. Oh, do you have a retail store, a neighborhood retail store? Or do you have something for car wash? Tell us what you want. Put it there, and then we will get back in touch with you. Sometimes, even if you don't have a specific to what you asked for, it helps us to find some of the related businesses that, options which we might present to you. Hey guys, please, can we just put that up? Is it up? Is it up yet? Aha, so I think that has just been put up now. You can also use the chat for that to just give us express. And we say we want this to be very interactive. Very unfortunately, we are not able to get people to call in and talk because we want to manage time and keep to the 1 hour that we promised. But you can also use the chat. But please, if you really want us to attend to you very well, to help you to find a stable franchise, it is not the chat here that is going to help us. It will have to be for you to fill that form, and then it would mean useful information for us to use to make you to a very, the very ideal franchise that is suitable. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chagozie. Like Mr. Chagozie already said, the form is up right now already in the chat feature. So kindly just take 2 minutes to fill the form while we continue with the Q&A session. Mr. Chagozie, Farida Afolabi is asking, she says, thank you for all the information. You're welcome, Farida. She says, I know some franchisors pay a fixed amount to their franchisees, in bracket ROI. Does any of your clients do this? I work for an organization that runs a franchise outlet. The numbers and break-even period will be tough without a fixed payment. I don't know if you got that, Mr. Chagos, or do I need to repeat it?
I realize I'm muted. So are we talking about a fixed franchise fee now?
I think she might be asking about a fixed payment, some sort of return on investment that a franchisee gets from the franchisor.
Oh, well, the franchisor, again, is your business. That's why we take advantage of this very webinar to really understand how franchising works. You are not in an employment. Nobody will fix anything for you. Yeah. You are running your own business. The only thing is that the franchise increases your chances of making more profit. In fact, not just more profit, making predictable, in quotes, profit, projected profit, right? Because they are giving you data that they are picked from data samples from the outlets they are already running. So it's very likely that, but the responsibility is on you, right? You are the one that will run that business. If you put in the effort and you run the business well, sometimes I've seen some franchisees that surpassed what a franchisor. I know a franchisee that did so well that he opened 5 franchise outlets. In fact, at the time, that was how the person now went and set up his own business. It became too big in Nigeria here for the franchisor to handle because the guy was just too innovative and took the business to heart. His outlets were one of the most profitable, among all the outlets of that particular brand. Wow. Right? So it is your responsibility. But if you're talking about the only thing that is fixed, if you're talking about the fee, which I'm really suspecting, we're talking about the fee that, the cost of which is a royalty, right? Yes, there's a royalty you pay the franchisee, you pay to the franchisor month on month from the profit you make because they are still using their brand goodwill and they are supporting you on an ongoing basis. There is also a fixed non-refundable franchise fee that you will pay for you to get the access to that right. This is somebody's sweat of several years, right? It is a brand goodwill that somebody built. So for you to get that license, which when you open door, customers start coming, people won't even know you are the owner of the business. They'll think it's the same old stuff that they've always had, seen around by the old owner. You need to pay for you to buy that very license. So I believe whichever is meant that somehow I've been able to address that question.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chagozie. So because of time, we'll be taking only 2 more questions and we'll be out of here. So I see people who are asking questions on if there is a logistics or an educational franchise available. Kindly just drop your details in the chat section below and we'll have someone contact you with an answer to your question. Definitely there's something for everybody across all sectors. So like I said, because of time, I'm only going to take this question and after that we'll have to bring this webinar to a close. Mr. Chagozie, someone is asking, Chinyere is asking, a food franchise such as Chicken Republic, how do we guarantee that the staff prepare global meal regardless of the branch? Okay, well, I think this person wants to know how you can guarantee consistency in the meal preparation for a franchise like Chicken Republic, regardless of the branch.
I'm wondering the reason for the question. You are a prospective franchise buyer. Well, I'll still answer the question. That is the essence of what franchise is the standardization. A franchise they have systems. A franchise business is a business that has been able to prove what works. They documented it, turned it into trainings, turned it into models that they can replicate, and they see that they are able to, help to replicate that at another location. That is what essence of everything I've said all this while.
Wow. Hello, Mr. Chagozi. Okay, I think that was a lapse in network. We will just allow 2 more minutes for Mr. Chagozi to come back to finish the question, and we'll be wrapping up. Okay, so while we wait for Mr. Chagozi to come back up, kindly follow us on social media to stay abreast of every opportunity that we will be rolling out in the, as the days go by. We've dropped all our social media handles in the chat box below. You can visit our website at www.fbdsnigeria.com. You can send us a mail at info@fbdsnigeria.com. We also have our phone numbers there, on our Instagram handle. Kindly ensure that you follow us on all across social media to keep, to stay updated with current and future opportunities that we made available to you. Thank you, everyone. It's been such a delight to host you. I hope you've learned a thing or two about franchising in Nigeria and opportunities that are currently available. As you already know, you've heard from one of the best in the industry, and you already know by now that franchising is the way. I mean, franchising is the way. For me, I don't think I'm ever, knowing what I know now about franchising, I don't think I'm ever going to stress myself about trying to build a business from scratch. So with all this said, we hope to hear from you sooner or later. And yes, we hope that you're able to take advantage of the opportunities listed here today in the nearest future. Thank you so much once again for joining the franchise investment webinar. We'll see you in the next webinars, to come. Thank you so much. We would just be signing out now. You can actually leave now. Thank you very much, everyone.
Have you ever desired to own a viable and profitable business? Do you know you can achieve this by simply buying the franchise of a popular brand? With a reasonable amount of capital investment, you can leverage on the success of one of our franchising brands to build a vibrant business with satisfactory ROI and guaranteed growth. In recent past, we, FBDS, have offered our professional services to high-end brands like Miniso, Cleanace, House of Tara, Slots, Oriki, and Tofan, to mention a few, and have helped investors like you make wise investment choices, and we would like to do the same for you. Reach out to us today. Mail us at contact@FBDS Nigeria or visit our website. FBDS, the most trusted indigenous franchising consulting brand in Africa.